Right.
Are you that power couple?
Are you
How
that
bad
power
do you
couple?
want it?
Yes.
Do you want it real bad? Well, you can sit down and have a legitimate conversation with your spouse. Why do she already got the strike of the conversation? When you gonna sit down and start talking to her
That's it.
as the man of the house?
That's it.
Cause when I sit down and talk to my wife, the whole house get quiet.
Yep.
She be like, uh-oh, what's going on here? Because it's time for us to take our role back. The women has been leading the household way too long. And that's not the way it's designed.
That's it.
It's designed for the man to lead the household. And in order for that to take place, we got to start taking back control of who we really are.
The chapter in the book says, "How bad do you want it?"
Oh, come on, somebody. Come on,
And
come
this
on.
is in the first book, We Can Make It Work.
Yes, sir.
How bad do you want it?
Come on.
Do you want it bad enough to change your routine, change your schedule,
Yes, sir.
slow down enough to spend time with them? Do you want it bad enough to cover them in prayer? Oh, here's a question. Do you know how to pray? Do you
All
know
right.
how to cover your mate in prayer? Do you know how to lift him up to Christ? Do you really know how to tap into the Spirit
Wow.
and begin to pray for
Wow.
him? That's a question. Now, my number is 772-216-9758. All we can't say on Facebook, you can text me or call me. But you have to learn how to pray for them in the Spirit. You have to learn how to cover them in those situations, in those times that you know that you feel like something is not right. Being verbal all the time doesn't always help. But I know for sure that prayer works.
Being verbal all the time, is just showing the weakness of an individual. Because they don't want to submit and they don't want to love.
Yeah.
According to Ephesians 5, the Bible never told the woman to love. Told the woman to submit, which means respect. But it told the man to love. So when we got verbal conversation between one another, we don't want to do neither one of those.
That's it.
That's the issue there. And
That's
that disqualifies you from being a power couple. We are, as an adult, we should not be yelling and screaming at one another.
Oh my
How
God.
bad do you want to sin? I should have to talk. I should have to raise my voice and talk loud at my wife. My wife's like, hold on, baby. I'm not one of the boys. Who you
That's
talking
it.
to?
That's it.
So I learned how to talk to my wife. Because as a man, we so testosterone, we want to just talk, yell, and scream and everything.
Beat the hands
Yes,
on their
sir.
chest.
Let me tell you what I used to do.
Oh.
Why you get mad at my wife? I go in there and break a plate or bust a glass.
Men, don't try that at home. Don't break up them good dishes.
I'm just joking,
You
y'all.
got to go back and pay for it.
I'm just joking.
We
But
can
listen,
make it work. You see my shirt?
I'm just
we
joking.
can make it work.
I'm just joking. But listen, being that power couple does not cause you to elevate in your voice.
That's it.
Listen to this. Do you see your faults in your spouse?
Wow.
Do you see your fault in your spouse?
That's it. And it's in the book.
Do you
have
see
a
your fault in your
chance to
spouse?
be able to go through and write down your thoughts and examine yourself.
It's self-check time.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
self-check time. Everything that you think your spouse is doing, be honest with yourself and look in the mirror and see that you're doing it yourself.
Oh,
You call that familiar spirits, and this is how so easy that we can recognize it.
Yes, it
Familiar
is.
spirits always recognize themselves in others. This is why it's so easy, Dr. Walker, for us to find fault in everybody else because we see it in us.
because you see your faults in
Yes, sir.
others. That's it.
That's it.
That is so true.
And that's disqualified you from being a power couple. Now we can get this thing right and we can make it work and we can become that power couple. So when
Yes.
we step out holding hands on one another's arm, people are seeing the true agape love that God intended for us to have in a couple relationship.
That's
and I'm
it.
telling you, my brother, when you do that right there, man, you sleep better. You feel a whole lot better. You're able to think better. You're able to operate and function a whole lot better.
Yes.
Why? Because you have less stress. This is how we cast our burdens upon the Lord.
That's it. And guess what? If you haven't made it, I'm just giving you a little sneak peek for volume 2. Do you love me or are you in love with me? Thoughts on intimacy and intimacy for real. Oh my God. And being able to reverse the cycle in your relationships. Those are just some of the topics that are in volume 2. So you got to make it through volume 1 in order to get to volume 2. What you say is not always what I hear. How many times have you said something to your mate and first thing you say is, I never said that. Yes, you did. That's what I heard you say. So I want to address those things. I want to help us get out of the confusion that comes about when we have a communication issue with one another. And I try to address the things that actually occur. Just know that when you get to volume 1, the chapters are short for a reason, because it helps you to analyze you.
And stay focused.
Stay focused. If I did a whole lot of writing,
You won't stay focused.
you won't stay focused because you'll be so busy trying to read.
Our attention span is not that long. No.
Okay. So it's just enough to stir up the real you, to want to see the real you, to get the best out of your relationship,
Yep.
to get you to communicate with one another before you get to volume 2.
Exactly. Because volume 1 will cause you to search